Hurricane Helene, destruction, loss, and the urgent need to prepare. Hurricane Helene wasn't just another storm, it was a catastrophic monster, a force of nature that obliterated entire communities, left streets flooded, homes destroyed, and families shattered. And the terrifying part, the number of lives lost keeps climbing every day. Hurricane Helene didn't just disrupt life as we know it, it wiped it out. In the blink of an eye, entire towns were submerged, roads gone, supplies nowhere to be found, and people cut off from the world, struggling to survive. But here's the chilling truth. Disasters like this, they will happen again, and you have to be prepared, because when the next storm hits, it won't wait for you to get ready. Let's take a closer look at the devastating aftermath of Hurricane Helene and why you need to prepare now before it's too late. Florida was ground zero for Hurricane Helene's wrath. Category 5 winds tore through the state with speeds over 140 miles per hour, reducing homes, schools, and hospitals to piles of rubble. The coastal surge was nothing short of apocalyptic. Florida saw over $12 billion in damage. At least 145 lives were lost, with more bodies still being pulled from the wreckage. Grocery stores empty, highways impassable, supplies gone. Imagine being completely cut off from food, water, and rescue. For thousands of Floridians, that's the reality right now. In Georgia, it wasn't just the wind, it was the relentless rain. Rivers swelled, flooding entire towns. Roads didn't just flood, they disappeared. Atlanta, the heart of the South, is now half submerged in water. The state is dealing with $6 billion in damage, and the death toll continues to climb. 34 lives lost so far, and many are still missing. Entire towns remain underwater, completely cut off from the rest of the world. As Helene moved north, the storm didn't weaken, it evolved. Tornadoes ripped through South Carolina, leaving towns in ruins. Homes were shredded, debris scattered everywhere, and thousands of people were left homeless and without power. South Carolina saw a staggering $4 billion in destruction. 29 lives have been confirmed lost, but many are still unaccounted for. The chaos is unimaginable. Roads blocked by overturned cars, fallen trees, and downed power lines. In North Carolina, storm surges swallowed entire coastal towns. Families trying to flee found themselves trapped as highways turned into rivers. The state's ports, once bustling, are now ghost towns, and with them, the flow of essential supplies has come to a halt. With over $7 billion in damages, North Carolina is in a dire situation. 45 lives have been lost, and rescue workers are still struggling to reach areas that remain submerged. The supply chain has collapsed, and residents are running out of food and clean water. The storm may have passed, but the nightmare is far from over. Thousands are still trapped, cut off from food, water, and medical supplies. Roads that once connected towns are now nothing more than fragments buried under debris and floodwaters. Food shortages have begun, and the situation is growing worse by the day. Grocery stores that weren't destroyed are either closed or completely empty. Perishable items have spoiled due to widespread power outages, leaving residents with nothing. Those who didn't prepare for the worst are now facing starvation. Emergency responders are stretched thin, unable to reach isolated communities. And with each passing day, more bodies are being found. A tragic reminder that this disaster isn't over yet. Hurricane Helene should be a wake-up call for all of us. If you think this can't happen where you live, think again. The destruction was swift, deadly, and overwhelming. It's a stark reminder of just how fragile our modern lives truly are. When disaster strikes, there won't be time to prepare. Shelves will be cleared out in hours, and you'll be left with nothing. That's why you need to start preparing now. At Survival Cave Food, we provide long-lasting, shelf-stable survival food that can withstand any disaster. Our survival food buckets and canned meats are designed to keep you and your family fed when the next storm hits and the world grinds to a halt. With a long shelf life of up to 25 years, these foods don't require refrigeration, so even if the power goes out, you'll still be covered. Disasters happen fast. As we've seen with Hurricane Helene, your roads can be destroyed, food trucks can't deliver, and grocery stores will be wiped clean. Don't wait until it's too late. Your family's survival depends on being prepared before disaster strikes. Have you ever experienced a disaster like Hurricane Helene? What steps did you take to prepare? Or what do you wish you had done differently? Share your story in the comments below and help others understand the importance of preparing before it's too late.